Hey there, folks. Crank Ups 101. Had to get on my grandpa glasses, make sure I was seeing stuff right. All right, all about crank ups. What is a crank up? Crank up consultation is what they are. But we're going to concentrate on the energy part of it, the energy, the quote unquote free energy work. Okay. Now, the consultation is a consultation. Those folks that are doing these I.C.U.C, intensive crank ups, they're naturals of what they do. When you're sore, you can only do it if you're sores, clean sores, and you don't have issues. Otherwise, they won't be allowed to do it. The field controls that. Source has all the different frequencies that are everywhere, and a lot that have never found physical form. No better than nothing else, just really strong. Because of the power level and because of all the different frequencies within it, as long as it's good, clean, good source, it's all clean, but good. It'll go into you, put its energy into you, and literally give some of itself, to which they're huge, they're all over the place, okay? And plus energy from the field, okay, part of me, actually goes inside you, cranks you up. That source energy, a certain percentage of that, depending on who's doing it, whatever, 5-10% of what they put in you stays with you forever. That is a gift. No matter what you pay for it, that's a gift. It makes your personal spirit stronger forever. The consultation is talking with you, helping you see, feel, understand things that you can at the time, helping you understand your own awakening. The consultation is that. It's a consultation. Someone giving you their thoughts, feelings, and understandings. It's like an event. You go to a concert, you go to a concert. You buy a ticket to go to the concert, you don't go to the concert, not the concert's fault. I've always said myself that if something happens and somebody can't make it, we try to, we'll give them another date, another opportunity to do it. We'll do what we can to help them. Sometimes we can't give them another date. But if something happens, or they just decide at the last moment that even though they paid, they don't want to go ahead and do it, have the consult, well, it's an event. They already paid for it. So if they don't want to have it, that's fine. I always try to send off a stone to them of equal retail value of the consult. So they have something. They paid for something that they should have. And if they don't want that, then I'm going to send them something unless they just say no, want nothing. And I'm like, okay, that's never happened, but whatever. Never can tell what's going to happen. The energy work of it is free. Okay? You're paying for the consult, and the energy work is free. It's just a little something extra. Now, the actual energy work itself, when I crank you up, I'll speak for myself, the others speak for themselves, it's basically the same thing. My energy level is just through the roof. It's different. What's inside me, what I am, who I am, what's flowing through this physical body. I do not consider myself this body because I'm not. I'm in this body. It's a vehicle I'm driving. If you drive a Chevrolet, your name's not Chevrolet, your name's whatever it is. I was made very strong at the very beginning, and I was made to protect. And through all the abusive lives, I've had more than anyone else, 10.846 trillion. Yeah, I've gotten real strong. Much stronger than I was. So anyway, it's just mine's a little different, okay? It's strong. It comes from love and fortitude. Lots and lots of fortitude. It's like, you know, I've been called and I adopted the thought process. Think about Thor's hammer with a big heart in it. That's me. That's what I am. So anyway, for the energy work, I go into you. I take source energy, what I am, and it's everywhere. It's in the field around you. I take my source energy. I put it into you. This is not spirit. It's not sentient energy. It's energy. There's a difference. It's not putting another spirit inside you. It's putting energy inside you. It is non-sentient. Okay? I put my energy into your core. I built the energy in your core like a river until it overflows. Then I look at you. I'm seeing this. I see it, feel it, smell it, taste it. I mean, whatever. I know it. I've done this thousands of times, literally thousands of times. Okay, that's not a make-believe number. I don't do make-believe. But I go into you, open up your core energy, just fill it full, and that just it's flowing all over outside your body. Then I go build an energy field within your body, and I increase it until you're literally a small part of this huge orb of energy. And this is, I make the intention, and I see myself literally changing your DNA. Now this is important. Why? When you turn on your stereo, a lot of the stereos that are old like me, they have a little wire going from the stereo unit to the speaker. If you look at the wire going on your house, that thing's huge. Why? Because it has to carry more power. Well, it's a simple fact. Well, so's your DNA needing to be changed because you're about to move a lot of power through it. Okay? Doesn't mean you grow an arm out of the side of your head. Doesn't mean you become super duper or whatever. You become more of yourself. You get a whole lot stronger. Your fortitude increases. Sometimes it helps with health, and it'll always help with health and stuff like that. But it also depends on you. It depends on your age. Okay, we get hurt and everything. We heal a whole lot better when we're younger. It's the same principle. Okay, do you still get cranked up? Yes. Oh, big time. And remember, with me now these days, it's about 10% of what I put in you is going to stay there forever. It's part of you. You will always have that. You can't realize that until you are awake, and especially on the other side. But you'll be on the other side when you get out of your body. You got a soft golden glow going through you. It's really cool to look at. Anyway, let's talk about the here and now. So then after working on your DNA, it changes your DNA. Folks, scientists have even been saying something's going on in people's DNA. There's some people that have this real crazy DNA, but everyone's DNA is changing. Yeah, you're starting to grow new strands. It's time. The Anunnaki to run this planet, they've been doing all kinds of things that they've been putting out, electronic devices and everything else since before you had quote-unquote electricity. They're still putting it out because they've had a lot more electricity for a long time. These folks came here over 10 million years ago. They didn't come on a bus. Okay, they came in starships. So they're incredibly intelligent. Okay, remember the Earth is young and we're a young species. And all your history books and timelines are all screwed up. You want a good timeline? Timeline for stuff on this planet, right here. Boom. You won't find it anywhere else. Creation, its journey evolving into paradise. It's on at thespiritualfoundation.com. It's on Amazon.com, Europe, all over the world. Okay, and I've signed the release to send it to libraries. If they ever ask for it, they'll get it. Okay. I'm not trying to hoard energy. I'm not trying to hoard energy, but I'm not trying to hoard information too. That information helps you release your energy. It helps you understand. The more you know, the more you feel, the more you open up. Okay. When you read stuff that's actually true, your abilities start kicking in and say, you know, this is making sense. It's like the editor said from CreateSpace, that the first book is Creation, its beginning, your origin, how everything started. And that was the head of CreateSpace that actually edited that book. And anyway, so that's why I've got to go in and build this orb inside you, and you open up, become stronger. Okay, it literally starts evolving your DNA. It has to, because you're starting to, now you have a lot more power inside you. I mean, a lot. But besides that, you're going to start developing, getting even stronger. As your abilities crank up, you're going to move more of your energy through you, plus you have all the source in you too. Source energy, not spirit. Big difference. Okay? So, it has to change. It goes over time. When it starts getting stronger, when your DNA goes through a strong change, because it'll happen on and off, you get real cold. Folks, you can have it 85 degrees in a house, and next thing you know, you're shivering, and then it goes away. Don't go to the doctor, you're fine. Okay? You start sneezing, you're dripping everywhere, you're really falling apart and staying like that, go to the doc. But that's another thing, too. When you get cranked up, you don't get sick near as much. You might think you are, but you're not. The only time you get is the shivers. Excuse me, you get the shivers, and you might think you're sick, but you're not. And then also, you feel pressure on the head coming in and out every once in a while. I'll talk about symptoms in another video. You're going to have access to all this information. You need to have it. Not just for what I do for you, but what others do for you. Other source family members, that'll be listed right here at thespiritualfoundation.com. Okay. So after that, oh, wait a minute. First thing I do is I get you to feel your aura. You aim your palms towards your head, put them over your head, aiming the palms towards your head, and just go in and wait till you start feeling something. You might feel warmth in your palm and your fingertips, tingling in your fingertips. You might actually just know that you're there because you see it in your head. Your heart might make a feeling. Folks, you just relax. You go down, you go to where you think you feel it, and then you go back. You go outwards and then inwards, outwards. Just do it a few times, and lots of people feel pressure. Pressure in the head, pressure in the hands. Folks, those of you coming to me, you're not all super strong. A lot of you really are strong. A lot of you just want to wake up, and you're at the right place at the right time for the right reason. So anyway, so you start feeling it, okay? Then after the basic crank up, you feel it again. And then you put your arms, you put your arms up in the air, aim your palms towards your head, and you slowly go down until you feel about that same feeling. Hey, Herc, I love you, buddy. Come on in. And then you say, okay, wow, it's gone up. And then when your energy is finally released, then your energy is so far above you, you can't, you're just like, man, I don't feel it where to go. And I said, just relax, feel your hands. And they say, oh, crap, I'm feeling it. I'm like, that's the idea. Your energy powers up big time. You turn on like a generator, like a locomotive. That's what's going on. Where the energy used to move through you like a garden hose, it's now like a fire hydrant, okay? That's the whole idea. That's part of the awakening. This is supposed to be happening, just not with everyone. If you want it, you get it. You got it. But everyone's still awakening. The DNA is changing, but it's not like a crank up. Okay? Big difference. All right. So then, so you've tested it. You get the core energy. I feel the core energy up. Then I put build a sphere inside you and build it up until you're floating inside it. Change your RNA and DNA. When I see it being finished, then I stop. Then I go into you. I go into the hypothalamus, put energy in your hypothalamus, and grow it. And then I do the same with your lower crown that floats over that. Information goes from the lower crown down to the hypothalamus, back and forth. That's communicating, it's understanding, okay? That's where the heart feelings go up in there, and it starts becoming understanding, and it goes back and forth with the heart and the hypothalamus area, including the lower crown, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the middle, and then I go into the middle crown right above it. It's like a lens. Think of a magnifying glass being on top of your head, and then just sinking down in right about here, okay? A little different with everybody, no big deal, right around there. It's like a lens. I work it and clean it until finally I get it where it needs to be. I just use the frequencies within me to clean it, and then I leave it with a beautiful clean lens. it automatically becomes the shape it needs to be, but I watch it, see it, and if I want to, I can manipulate it, but I trust myself and know what I'm doing, and I do it as I understand. This works, happens every time, folks, okay? There's no, it's not going to happen. It's harder for some people to feel and understand, but it's still happening every time, period. Now, over and above that, you have to do in the middle lens, you go to the top, and I build an energy ball inside you, open it up, and then I push right through the top, right through the crown, I push right through your skull, and then I open it up. And then there's this huge ball of energy in there, and I open up your crown, depending on how far it was open and whatever. It's going to be anywhere from 7 to 10 times, the average is 7 to 10 times larger than what it was. So then after doing that, just stop for a second. Then I go into the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland puts hyperfocus on everything that is going on in all your metaphysical abilities, and then open it up. The crown's right here, and it's like a motorcycle helmet that you got on, but the top right here is cut open, where the crown goes in and out, and it's just here, like it's like water moving in energy waves moving like this all on itself. So I go in and out. Sometimes you'll feel me in and out of there. Sometimes you don't. It all depends on your core orientation. Go there in a minute. Okay. Now, then I go to the pineal gland. I open up the pineal gland, energize it, crank it up, make it start to grow. And then I go, once I have the pineal field, I open it up into you. And I build a new field. You'll see me like moving like this. When I do this stuff, I have your head in front of me at least 10 times its normal size, and I'm there in your head, and I'm working on it. You'll feel it, okay? It's soft, it's easy, your nose doesn't bleed, you don't go, oh, no, it's nothing like that, okay? You'll feel more pressure later from what I do than you do now. When I do it, okay? It's supposed to be like that. The application is a whole different thing. It starts a process, and it does start it. Okay, it starts happening immediately. You have to have that energy inside you, and I manipulate it. And, folks, I'm like an artist when it comes to this stuff, okay? Anyway, been doing it a long time, many times. So the pineal field goes from here, right above the clavicle, to right here, the middle of the head, okay, the middle of the forehead. That's the pineal gland. Sometimes when I go in there and work on you, literally you start clearing your throat. And I tell people, I said, well, the pineal gland's down there. That's why you're clearing your throat now. And then they said, no, that's not it. I just had to clear my throat. And I'm like, whatever, not going there. That almost never happens. Sometimes it does. And the people don't understand. And they just, it's, who understands this stuff? I had to understand this one step at a time too, folks. There's no great omnipotent anything, okay? Everything's awesome. Everything can rock. When stuff gets abusive, that's when there's an issue. Okay, anyway, so there's pituitary, then there's the pineal, and then there's another thing called the scanner. No one ever talks about that. I named it. Why? Because I see it. I'm in there working on it. I see the energy field. I see what it does. The scanner comes off of the front 2/3 of your brain. That's all I'll say. And there's different energy fields within it, like little teeny energy fields. People would say little teeny chakras. They're energy fields. It's your energy moving around in your head the way it is normal. It's different for everybody. I go in there, put my fingers as energy. I put my fingers in your head, and I softly touch all of them. I see your energy fields and my energy actually touching them. I grow them. And then I do soften up the whole area, and I do something else I'm not going to talk about. It's just energy work. And then I go like this, and then I extend the field open. Just like I did with the pineal, I do the same thing with the scanner, okay? And then it comes up, and then here's a scanner right here. Where the forehead goes up, and then it goes up like this, boom, where they meet, that's a scanner. Sometimes when you go to look real hard at something, this will actually stick up a little bit. You can actually see the hair stick up and everything. It energizes. The more you awaken this area, actually, it's almost like it gets a little soft because it moves. Anyway, the scanner. This is where remote viewing comes from. Okay? This is where you see within this dimension and a little bit above, a little bit below. like half or 3/4 above, half or 3/4 below. Okay? The pineal sees all dimensions everywhere. Okay? But remote viewing comes from the scanner. Now, these two energy fields are right here touching each other. After I do the pineal and then I do the scanner, I go in and I blend all that stuff together. Now, why do I do that? Because I give you something you've never had before. The clarity, the high definition type clarity that comes from the remote viewing from the scanner, I add some of that gets added to your pineal, and the increased dimensional depth of your vision gets added to part of the scanner. Okay, so it helps enhance both areas. It doesn't make it one big thing where it's all perfect and all this blah blah blah. Forget the word perfect. That's made to frustrate you. That's the only reason it exists. No such thing. And as that happens, then you'll see you just become more and more. And folks, this takes time. It takes about a month and a half for everything to really kick up and go nuts. The more awake you are, the more you're seeing, the more you're going to feel right away. Okay? It all depends on how awake you already are. Awakening takes a little time. Okay? Okay, and then after I do that, I literally take the energy that is unicorn. And I just fire it up. It's like soft bubbles, all kinds of stuff. It's very energetic. Okay, very aggressive, but very energetic. Aggressive in a nice way. Okay? It's just very strong. And then move it up all the way through your body. Okay? All the way through the head especially. And that'll just make you feel good, clean. Lots of times when I go into the middle crown and clean that lens in there, all of a sudden people say, hey, I got more clarity. I'm like, gee, imagine that. I don't say that being a smart ass, but I'm trying to be funny about it. That's the whole idea. I have a little bit of that northern sense of humor. I love my overalls, and I make a joke. I had to call myself a New York redneck. I miss my southern friends, the ones I used to have down here. I've been around a long time. So at this point, I get the people to feel their aura again. So they come in and they say, okay, now I'm feeling it over here. So it's like, what happened? If you don't trust yourself at all, you're not going to know what to think. But you're going to feel it. And then you're going to say, is this real? Am I thinking that because it's supposed to happen? Is this something I want to happen? Folks, if you're that crazy, all right, you need to literally just stop. And it's not being crazy. That's definitely the wrong word to use for that. If you've been made that crazy in this life through your body DNA that was done to you on purpose to put you in the body and give you hell, deep breathing. If you feel that crazy like that, deep breathing, just relax, open up, and just extend yourself open. And let your animal, especially your animal spirit guides, come in and talk to you. Okay, all your spirit guides. Animals really cool. If you ask them what's going to happen in the future and it doesn't happen, that's your fault, because they told you what was going on at that moment, because the future's all over the place. Okay? Once I get out of here and start setting things up, or make the actual format change on the other side, and then we get Lily out, it's all going to change. Lily's got to finish healing first. It's the most important thing in all of you is Lily. I'm just the hammer with the heart. I'm the janitor. Anyway, so at that point you realize, okay, wow, I got more power. Now, then I go inside you. I go inside your head, softly grab what you are, and I release. I unlock. I pull the lock away. It's not grabbing at your energy and ripping it up. I take off the lock. I release what was keeping you from floating. You can't hardly feel it. And then when I do that, then all of a sudden, people are like, oh, that's weird. And then when you go try to feel your aura, not always, 9 times out of 10, it's like, where did it go? You took it away. And I said, relax, feel your hands. Most of you can already feel, you say, holy mackerel. Your hands are like that. You're not even pointing your palms towards your head. You don't have to, because your aura is everywhere. You're in it. Some of you get real close to that just with the crank up. So anyway, that's the ICU, intensive crank up, until this body finally drops dead soon, very soon. Then I'll do what I can to work a crank up in there. I can't do many, but because I have to leave, and there is some stuff on the other side that is actually making some correct decisions regarding my life, they'll keep some of you from calling, which is awesome. But if you want to get this done, and you can't afford my price, that's expensive, $800 for 2 people for 45 minutes. It takes me moments to do this. Hell, I can do, I've done 328 people at one time. But anyway, there's other folks doing it too that are on this website that are cranking people up, okay? Berjou has been doing it a pretty good while. Paul's been doing it a bit. We're all a little different. But anyway, that way you have more options. Okay? So, that's the free energy work that comes along with the ICU, intensive crank up. That's a consult. It should be the I.C.U.C, huh? Hey, that's funny. I.C.U.C, intensive crank up consult. I'm going to change it to that. I.C.U.C, we all see. All right, folks. So that's the basic gist of it, okay? And from cranking up the head, there'll be times when your head gets a little thick, a little pressure, okay? And then it'll start going away. When that happens, your brain, folks, your skull is going to grow. If you're not healthy, if we have more years on us, like a lot, you don't grow as much. The brain grows. It still grows. It develops. It matures. It softly evolves. But it's just like healing ourselves. And, when we cut ourselves, and there's a little scab when we heal, when we're young, it might take an hour. When we're older, it might take 2 days. Just don't worry about it. It'll be fine. But keep that in mind as you go through this. Okay, I've cranked up people at 80-something years old, and they feel it. And it does help you, especially with your fortitude. Okay? But when you feel the pressure in your head, remember that inside your body, all the organs, your brain, everything gets its nutrients from the blood. And there's already a lot of blood around your brain. So as your brain starts to physically grow, your brain cells themselves get actually bigger, and they really start increasing in number. So that's a lot of growth. What does it need? Food. Where does food come from? The blood. The lungs supply oxygen. The intestines and everything supply the nutrients. It's all in the blood. You have to increase the amount of food you eat. So you increase, the brain has to increase the amount of food it eats. So it increases the blood flow. Your body automatically increases the blood flow. Your brain's physically grown a little bit, and then there's more blood volume in your head. 2/3 of the pressure you're going to feel in your head is from the blood. It's not hard. Some people say, "Oh, I got a headache." I said, "No, think about it. You never did. It was just you felt pressure." She goes, "Well, yeah, it was never a headache, but it, kind of felt like it was going to be." Some people are more sensitive than others, but and if it does make you feel uncomfortable, take some aspirin. Don't worry about it. Sometimes I'll drink some wine. I'm not going to tell people, "Hey, start drinking wine." Do whatever you feel is right. Okay, in my head, what I went through, the growth that I still have to deal with, now it's coming down. For me, it was really painful, but it won't be with you. I've had times where I was growing so fast that people are actually watching me, and they were literally watching my head grow right in front of them. Okay, that won't happen to you. I promise. It's not going to happen. But the growth is there, yeah. You want to check that? Get a string, put it around your head, okay? Tie it to where it goes. You don't want it tight, okay? You want it to float down your head, no problem. You don't want it to hang up. You don't want a necklace. You don't want it to, your ears better catch it, but you should feel a little something as it goes down your head. Okay? Just feel a little bit of pressure. Tighten the knot, get it real tight, jerk the heck out of it. Then you need to do it again. Feel it. Make sure you remember what it feels like. Okay? As long as you're feeling it, touch your hair and stuff, your head when you go down, then put it in the dresser, put it in a plastic bag, put it in the dresser so you know it was out of the sunlight, it didn't get wet, blah, blah, blah. And make it out of regular string, okay? Then try to put it on another 3.5, 4 months. And watch what happens. Okay? All right, folks. Anyway, that's the basic gist of the crank ups. There'll be people you can talk to about it more later that understand, okay? And now I got to put some other stuff on the internet. On this channel, on the that channel it'll be on the channel, but it'll be found on the spiritualfoundation.com along with this video, so you can understand things, other things that you need to know about yourself. This is good basic information, but it's important when you get cranked up. Okay, you're going to get a lot stronger. All your abilities get stronger, but it's understanding what's going on. Love you, folks, man. Happy cranking.